Ziba and the bus harasser, Taher. It was the spring of 2008. After a fruitful trip to Kazvin and Mahabad, I boarded a bus heading to Tehran and sat by the window in the third row, gazing out at the scenery. The weather was warm. I wore a thin, cream-brown tunic with cheerful patterns, paired with tight jeans. The thin tunic, along with the fact that I wasn't wearing a bra, had drawn some attention, especially highlighting my body's curves. However, I was lost in my own world. Barely half an hour had passed when I felt someone from the seat behind me touching the side of my chest. I was startled and immediately turned toward the seat behind me, but the man pretended to be asleep, feigning complete ignorance. I didn't say anything and tried to ignore it, but moments later, that same hand slowly crept towards my soft, fleshy armpit and touched me again. When I turned towards him this time, he was pretending to be even deeper in sleep, complete with fake snoring sounds. At this point, I couldn't ignore it any longer. I calmly placed my hand on the seat and said, "Excuse me, sir? Sir." There was no response. "Sir, I'm talking to you." I knocked harder on the back of his seat. "Huh? What? What's going on, miss?" "Sir, can I kindly ask that you say whatever you're trying to communicate with your hand, with your words instead? I'd appreciate it." Upon hearing this, the man became deeply embarrassed and didn't say another word. He remained silent all the way to Tehran. After we arrived in Tehran and I retrieved my bag from the driver, just as I was about to leave, I saw the same man rushing towards me, looking excited. He said, "Miss, can I talk to you for a moment?" I replied, "No. You harassed me twice, and you clearly have a serious issue with how you treat women." "I know, but please let me talk to you. You have no idea how much what you said affected me. No woman has ever spoken to me that way before. I really want to talk to you. At least let me carry your bag." I sighed and said, "Fine. Here, take my bag. You can walk with me to the BRT buses." "Oh my God, thank you so much. I don't know how to apologize. From the moment you said that sentence, I've been deep in thought. I'm so ashamed. I can't even describe it." "Well, you don't need to be that hard on yourself. You touched me. It's over. And I'm still alive. Nothing major happened. Don't beat yourself up too much." Unfortunately, in our sick society, men and women can't even have a healthy conversation. You're a product of that environment, but you need to try to break free from it. Strive to build healthy, positive, and vibrant relationships with others so that it's enjoyable for both you and them. "Oh my God, you speak so beautifully. What's your job?" "My name is Ziba, and I'm a doctor. I work in psychotherapy. I recently returned to Iran and plan to work here. How long I'll succeed, only time will tell. Right now, I'm looking for a clinic and trying to get my basic living expenses in order." "That's amazing. My name is Taher, and I work at a transport company in Sada Abad. Dr. Ziba, let me tell you this. We've got 70 million mentally ill people in this country, and I'm one of them. When your clinic opens, I want to be your first patient. You have no idea how many psychological problems I have. I'm from Banay. I'm Kurdish, and I come from a family with 9 siblings and tons of issues, especially cultural shortcomings. I don't even know what came over me to behave like that with you. I wasn't in control at all. Why? Why did I act that way?" "Well, don't dwell on it too much. It was a small action, something that can happen to any of us in different forms. Your guilt is now bigger than the act itself. By the way, if you'd like, you can take my phone number and feel free to call me whenever you want." "Are you saying I can contact you again and see you?" "Of course. What are you saying? I'm not a princess. I'm just an ordinary person with all my own needs for human connection. You can even join some of our group activities, like walks, public meetups, or gatherings with my friends. After a brief walk, I shook hands with Taher near the BRT buses and parted ways. But 20 minutes later, when I arrived at my destination near Polichobi, I saw him again, standing in the exit area, waiting for me. "May I carry your bag, doctor?" I figured while we still have time, I could benefit from your presence. "Sure, that's fine. You can walk with me to my friend's house, about 500 meters away. I appreciate you carrying my bag." During this time, Taher shared some of his personal stories with me, and after about 15 minutes, we parted ways, both feeling a sense of warmth and connection. After that, Taher would occasionally call to check on me, asking how I was doing and if there was anything he could do for me. One time, when I was heading to Mashhad, Taher met me at the airport, bought me a drink and a sandwich, and spent time sharing stories from his life until my flight departure. In this way, Taher gradually became one of my friends. I also made an effort to introduce him to others, though some of my acquaintances found it difficult to accept him at first. However, this led to great discussions in our group. Over time, Taher gained more friends and supporters. One time, we visited my grandmother at a nursing home in Mirdamad together. He was deeply moved by the atmosphere and by my warm interactions with the elderly there. This visit became a routine for him, and even when I wasn't around, he would go there on his own. What made me happiest was the growing friendship between Taher and Masume, one of the nurses there, and a good friend of mine. A new human connection based on the foundations of a fresh culture for Taher. And I was very pleased with these relationships and overall with Taher's presence in our own lives. From the true stories of Ziba Navak, March 2008.